Hey MGTOWs, this is Vention. I was on the freeway the other day heading for work, and I noticed the temp gauge on my dash was way up there. And then the little idiot light came on, and I went, uh-oh, Houston, we have a problem. This is an old vehicle. It's like a 97. So basically, I'm lucky it's going at all at this late date. So, oops, hold on. So, just thought I would save myself a few bucks and pop this thing in myself. And man, is it a pain in the butt. These transverse mounted engines, there is like no room between the timing belt cover and the frame. Oh well. So in any case, I'm just throwing a new belt in there. I mean, a new belt. Obviously, might as well do the belt while I'm in there, and the water pump, and a couple of tensioners. Focus. Jeez, what's the matter with you? Huh. Oh, it's focusing on this. Anyway, just thought I would take care of this myself. And the reason I hit record is because I was interacting with a guy over in the Philippines, and he was talking about how some expats have a tendency to skip out on their girlfriend or their kids and abandon their family obligations. And I think he has a point, but basically, and he was bringing up this guy who's like this, got a big criminal record, and then he came to the Philippines and he was like living with this girl, and then of course this freaking self-centered attitude that these women have, of course she popped out a couple of babies for a paycheck, right? And I mean, I don't know her, you know, I don't know him, I don't know any of them, but it is such a go-to thing when a guy has money and resources and whatnot. If she can get there, you know, and then hook herself into those heartstrings, and then drop a couple of vagina turds, and then basically she has a paycheck for the next 20 years, right? And that doesn't sit well with me, right? Obviously, I'm a MGTOW, and he was talking about how bad it is that the guy ran out on his girlfriend and whatnot. But honestly, one of the basic principles of MGTOW, in my opinion, I am not here to make any rulings on MGTOW, but basically it is responsibility without authority it doesn't work, right? Responsibility and authority are partners, right? If you have no authority, a guy, his willingness to take responsibility is dramatically curtailed. Now, in the U.S., we have responsibility, you know, government enforced responsibility. When the woman pops out a kid and names you as the father, the state's going to come and get you and harvest your wealth, right? And that's one of the reasons why a lot of MGTOWs like me go monk, go ghost. You know, my most recent girlfriend was in 2009, and honestly, I don't miss it. Maybe I didn't get the best girlfriends or something, but man, every single time I was relieved when it was over, and it was just an enormous amount of trouble with very little benefit, right? But unfortunately, I never I mean, a woman never decided to have a kid on my watch, right? So anyway, if she has a kid, you know, without my permission, I feel no moral obligation to step up and assume responsibility, right? Basically, it's a situation where I'm going full defense, right? And that's the awesome thing about Bitcoins. And by the way, it's not a disaster like everybody seems to think. But basically, if I have no authority, and if the woman decides to have a kid without my permission, then I have no real need or no real emotional reason to assume responsibility for that. Her options don't obligate me to 20 years of slavery. And although many people would argue with me about this, sex does not constitute an agreement to be a father and raise a kid. And yeah, a lot of people would say, oh, you had sex. You sneezed when you had sex. Therefore, you need to step up. You agreed. You agreed to everything that comes with that. Yeah, right. When the woman, she can take the morning after pill. She can do the abortion thing. She can even adopt the kid out from under you without your permission. And basically you have nothing to say. These days men can't have kids, plain and simple, right? That is the law. Men can't have kids, only women can. And when a man can father a kid, he can like be a biological father, but the kid and the family and pretty much everything belongs only to the woman. The man is just a temporary guest in the woman's family. And basically any decision the woman makes about the kid, right, that is, you have no way of, you have no way to assert any kind of authority in that situation. And she has the ultimate trump card. She can throw your ass out into the street, call the police and say you did any number of horrible things. And basically they turn a blind eye to all of that, because then if she was the criminal, the state would have to take care of the kids, and they don't want to do that. So as long as the kid isn't obviously abused, well, sometimes when he is, they will leave the kid with the mother, and you are fucked. So responsibility without authority is like taxation without representation. It just doesn't work. It can be enforced by government for a while, but obviously look at MGTOW. We are, I mean, every time I turn around and I chime in on some video somewhere, multiple other MGTOWs are there to back me up. And we are everywhere nowadays. Okay, so that's all I wanted to say with that. And the last thing I wanted to say was Bitcoins. Everybody's freaking out because the Bitcoin price is like 6,000, went down to 6,100. And dudes, it just happens. The price goes down, the price goes up, and I just keep buying every paycheck. I throw $1,000 in there and go on with my life. And bear markets do not last forever. I've been through, I guess, the really long one of 2014 and 2015. And I've been through some mini pullbacks. And this is the second big bear market that I've been in. And it basically, you know, I think it's just about, it's either bottomed or it's real close. So I'll just keep buying, and then eventually price will come back, and then I'll be living on Easy Street. So that's the plan. Well, guys, I'm going to finish this water pump. Well, I'm not going to finish it. I'm going to see if I can throw a few more bolts in and then go on with my life. Later. and don't get married.